to welcome you back again to the Marvin Constant Show. I'm here with my co-host, Joester.
Marvin Constant. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing?
Hey, good.
Hey, so, Marvin, before you get started, I got a joke for you.
What's that?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Marvin.
I don't even respond to jokes with that name in it, man.
Let's start over then. Let's just say who. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Marvin.
Who?
Oh, don't hit me.
You're special. I like the joke. I got to get one of those. But I can't keep my guest waiting because he's a busy man. So without further ado, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game at the University of Alabama, one of my all-time favorites, the man himself, Andrew Zow.
What up, man? How you fellas doing?
Good, man. It's a pleasure to have you. How's life treating you these days?
Man, it's good. Coaching football and raising babies. I say babies, man. They're young men now, so you know how it is, man. Time flies when you're having fun, but my boys are getting grown now, man, and I'm enjoying coaching ball, man. But it's good.
All right, well, let me get into these questions. First and foremost, I see you at Sylacauga now. What's the team looking like? What are the expectations for the season?
The expectations, always high. We want our guys to come out and play, at a certain standard, man. And but our expectations are always high. Everyone wants to, got that one goal in mind at the end of the year, being, one of the last teams playing in your area for sure. But yeah, man, our expectations are that, we're going to go out here and throw the ball around a little bit, run it a little bit, play good defense, and have fun. Biggest thing I try to get our guys to, and especially our coaches, is that, nowadays you got to teach a little bit more, man. The hard nose is coaches are still here, but at the same time, I think you got to teach a little bit more because kids aren't outside playing, and it doesn't come as natural to them like it did when we were in school. So, biggest thing, all they do now is they're either training or they're in the house playing video games. So,
very true, and I tell people all the time, this generation of kids does not know what it means to drink water out of a hose pipe after a long game in the yard.
Right.
But looking back at last season, you were at Bessemer City. You started the year off 6-0. You finished the season 8-3. You lost 2 games by 1 point. To most, they consider that a very successful stint for first-year coaching. You leave Bessemer City. What made you choose Sylacauga over any other schools? Because I'm sure after having a season that successful, there were a lot of schools that wanted you to come run their programs.
Yeah, I had, leaving Bessemer City was sort of, it was tough, but at the same time, there were things that were going on that I just didn't agree with, and some things I felt like I needed to move on from. But picking Sylacauga was no brainer for me, man. I really, I had a few other offers that paid more money, that may have been even closer to my home. But, Sylacauga reminded me of my high school as far as being a small town, small city, love football. And I think what I really enjoy is the fact that, the community is bought into the football team.
Yeah, you made a very valid point. Small town like where you're from. That was one of the things that I wanted to ask you about. Coming from a small town like Lake Butler to Tuscaloosa to play in the almighty Bryant-Denny, what was that transition like from that small town to now you're in a magnifying glass like most people could never imagine, where everything is magnified?
Yeah, you know what, and I didn't have the privilege of like you played at Central, man. You guys are right there, big time, and we were winning state championships when I was in high school, and we got a chance to go down to Daytona and play in some big area in a big stadium. But night in and night out, man, getting an opportunity to play at Bryant. I can remember my freshman year of being redshirted and wanted to, hey, look, you can break my red shirt. Let me run down and hit somebody on kickoff. And that was the way I felt. Not saying I would have did anything, but that's the way I felt. But that was a big transition for myself. Like, I was a wing T guy in high school, and then all of a sudden I get an opportunity to be in a spread type offense under Stubbs, and or actually Bruce Arians first and then Stubbs. And but man, being at Bryant-Denny is like no other, especially running out of that tunnel, and then you hear Coach Bryant's voice over the loudspeaker. So that was pretty big for me.
So Andrew, first off, this is a big honor for me. You was the first quarterback I started watching when I started watching Alabama. You was the very first. When I became an Alabama fan, you was the quarterback.
Are you saying I'm old?
Well, yeah.
That's okay.
But rumor has it that, allegedly, you committed to that other place, that second-rate program.
Wow.
Why did you choose Alabama?
Man, I tell you what, I really did. I did. On my visit, man, one of my best friends and I, he committed. We had made a pact that we wouldn't commit to anyone until after we made all of our visits. And he walks in, sees Coach Terry Bowden, Rick Trickett, and those guys, and Jimbo Fisher, and those guys were in there. And Brother Oliver was in there, man. And he committed. When he came out, I was like, well, and he said, man, I committed. Actually, it was Slim's brother, Constant, if you remember Slim. So Slim's brother committed. And then I was like, what? And so I go in, and they put the pressure on me, man, and I committed. On the flight back, I had doubts, and then when I got back home around my family, I ended up my head coach. I changed my mind, but man, I took pictures and jerseys, man, and everything. I got them in I wrote a book, man, and I put it in the book, and it sort of raised my eyebrows. But yeah, I committed, and my visit was good, but I think I ultimately made the right decision of going back to the Crimson Tide, man.
Now, you mentioned that your visit to Marvin was good, but what was your first experience of Alabama when you first got there? Not just the time you was recruited, but I'm talking about your first day of practice.
I can remember a few things. I can say on my visit it was cold, but coming in, I remember just trying to getting used to being by myself for a few days, not being at home. I'm a mama's boy, man, and I now I'm out by myself and trying to meet some guys around the school or actually around the team, and got some great teammates, and then just getting out, trying to throw the ball around. Getting used to throwing the ball around was big for me. Like I said, I came from a wing T offense, and now I got a chance to sort of show my arm off a little bit more. But that senior class that was there when I was there, Dennis Riddle, who's from Central, right there in Tuscaloosa, and some of those guys were big in my eyes. Sean Alexander, Chris Sammies, those guys were, they were younger, but they were definitely on the map of being great. But being on campus, just being on a college campus is different, man, especially from a country boy like myself, man. And then walking around and seeing all the great things that were going on, man. It was a great experience.
Now, coming from that small town, you said y'all ran the wing T offense, right? All right, so you get to Alabama. Now you get a chance to throw the ball around. You redshirt your freshman year. Next year, you actually play 98. You pass for 1,900-some yards, 11 touchdowns. The next year, you come back 99. You pass for almost 1,800 yards and another 9 touchdowns. So, you come out and things are going well. So you made a nice transition from running a wing T, which is not real pass heavy, to an offense that passes the ball a lot more. How do you feel that your performance was in terms of your own standards and meeting your own goals?
I think at the time, my freshman year, I thought it was decent. I came in and replaced JD my redshirt freshman year. Finished the season okay. We lost in the bowl game, Music City Bowl. But coming back that sophomore year, was having a decent season. We threw the ball around a little bit, but you still had Sean Alexander, who we had to get the ball to in the run game. I still don't think I played up to where if I was coaching myself now, or the way I look at it now, is I didn't play where I thought I should, and neither did I, prepare myself like a quarterback really should. And I think there's some things I could have worked on. I think there's some things that my coaches could have worked on with us. But overall, I give myself a C+. The way I played, I could have been so much better if I would have paid more attention to detail, and I would have had my coaches were good, but at the same time, I think I need a little bit more because I did come from a wing T, and there's nothing about reading the defense that I knew. In those times, I mean, I really would have flourished, I think, a whole lot more if I had an opportunity to understand what I was attacking versus just running an offense.
Okay. So from that 99 season, which game stands out to you the most, or which game did you enjoy the most? Do you feel, that was, hey, this was my coming out party. This was my shining moment?
Yeah, 98 we played Southern Miss was a big game for me. But the biggest game in 99, I would say the Florida game. We go down to the Swamp, and we got a chance to beat them by 1 in OT. So that game right there, man, I had, playing against some high school teammates. They were Benny Alexander and Gerard Warren. They were great teammates in high school. We won, like I say, state championships together, but getting a chance to go out there and play against them was great.
Okay. Now, moving forward, we had a coaching change that actually occurred after the 2000 season. So you get a brand new coach comes in, Dennis Franchione, and your senior year, you only started with 6 games,
three or four, something like that.
3 or 4. And you played in 6, and
yeah.
so to go from starting in 98 and 99 and having the success that you had, what was it like to have to take a backseat and watch your senior year? Because I know personally, when I had to watch when I was hurt, it was not a good feeling.
No.
So what was your experience like, and what advice would you give to a younger player who might be in that same situation? Because I know emotions are running high, and a lot of times, as an athlete, when you're the best of the best, you tend to fly off the handle when things aren't going the way you're used to them going.
That's right. But the backstory to all this is I was a backup quarterback my senior year in high school as well. I tore my knee up, not as bad as you tore yours up, but I tore an ACL, came back, and I was a backup quarterback my senior year. So I knew the team aspect of it, and I wanted to win. The biggest thing is about winning, and I think if you're a team guy, at the end of the day, you're making sure everyone's winning, and I had to sort of buy into that. But taking the back seat was tough. You're a competitor. You want to be out there. You want to be the guy, especially only one quarterback can play at a time, really. I know a lot of guys try to, and Spurrier sort of did it early, of playing 2 quarterbacks. But to get a guy in a rhythm, I think you have to have one. I think, but, taking that back seat was tough, man. But I saw what happened to the year before in 2000, man. We went 3-8, and that was one of the worst seasons. So I didn't want to be the cause of that. And when I got my opportunity to play and go back and look at it, I started playing I think a Mississippi State game. Tyler goes down, and I get in, and man, we win 4 games straight, including the bowl game. So I felt like I was ready to play. Coaches didn't feel like I was a guy, which is fine. But I really felt like I could have done a good job throughout that year. But at the same time, they make decisions. But man, it was hard taking that seat back.
Well, Marvin brought up a good point. In Alabama right now, in the last several years, they've been notorious with quarterback competition. You remember Blake Sims and Coker,
Right.
Jalen Hurts and Tua. If you disagree with this, you can get your own YouTube page. I thought Andrew Zow should have been the starter. If you disagree with it, get your own YouTube page and you can state your opinions. I state facts on this page. With that said, what's your relationship with Tyler Watts today?
Man, it's good. It's not like we hang out or anything like that, and we didn't really hang out in college. But when we see each other, it's always good. We see each other at functions. We always ask how the kids are doing. He does. He's doing good here in the state of Alabama, doing a good job of what he does. I'm coaching different worlds, different part. I know we keep in contact with mutual teammates, friends that we sort of hang out with or see. Bart Ralston's a good. He lives in the same neighborhood as I do. He's a good buddy of Tyler, so we always talk about him. And every so often, if I see him or I need some funds, man, for my program, I will call him up. Not that he helps me out of it, but I will call him up.
Now, I know you're a high school coach, and this may affect your job, but I don't want no political. I don't want no, being modest. I want the honest God truth.
Okay.
Andrew Zow. I asked all the former Alabama players this. I asked Marvin Constance's cousin, Jermaine Funny Man Johnson, this. I asked all the Alabama fans this. With no BS. Why do we hate Auburn?
Oh, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I hate Tennessee a whole lot more than I hate Auburn. I mean, it's one thing to say, hate's a strong word, but I dislike Tennessee a whole lot more than I dislike Auburn.
Why is that?
Well, when we play Tennessee, they make us dress in orange. When I was Peyton Manning my freshman year, everything's orange. You hear Rocky Top all week long. I think sometimes what you ate could have been orange. I mean, it was all kind of crazy stuff. So, I think it's the mind tricks that they play on you for that Tennessee game. Auburn, it's just that little brother type of thing. It's very competitive. You definitely want to beat them at everything, but no, I would say Tennessee is a whole lot more on the dislike page than Auburn is. But Auburn's thing is that I think they become just as arrogant and cocky as us. So that's anytime someone sticks their chest out as like if you're the big rooster walking around and another rooster sticks his chest out a little bit, you get upset. So Auburn stuck his chest out a few times, and so that's what makes the rivalry so bad, because we just need to put them back in their places quickly as possible.
Hey, Marvin, just like last week, we have somebody who's very modest. Let's tell some stories.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it with Zow was always much more well-behaved than the rest of us.
So just get a whole lot out of him on me, man. I was the old guy, seemed like at times, man.
I just have one question for you, Zow.
Yeah.
Were you one of those guys riding those scooters in Miami when we were at the Orange Bowl? They got us all kicked off the scooters. Were you with that crew?
No. Heck no. When the year 2000 hit, I was standing in my window looking out my apartment thinking, man, not apartment, but the window of the hotel, thinking, man, and they always talk about the millennium, and I'm a country bumpkin, man. So I'm thinking, man, what's going to happen once it really hits 2000? And then once it hit, nothing happened. So I was like, oh, okay. But no, I was chilling, man. No, I was not part of that crew.
Funny thing about it, the buses are all out in front of the hotel. Dubos is out there. All I see is Night Train, and I might have been Tony with him and somebody else. He comes in sideways on the scooter and does some crazy maneuver. Dubos just looks at him like, really? We here to play a game, and y'all out here with this foolish.
Yeah, that's right. I also had the quick story for me. I had 2001. We go to the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, and Dre Fulgham and myself walk into a casino, and I remember seeing some of those redshirt freshmen. Oh man, I'm trying to think of his name right now, but he walks in, and my first thing is that they're only 18, 19 years old, and I said he's going to jail because they just told him he could not go, right? So, oh man, it was those brothers. Was it Brett? Wesley Britt. So I said, he's a redshirt freshman. He's going to jail. And I think they had to get some, like he had a false ID or something like that, man. But they were trying to get into a casino, man. And I think they got called. They got turned around or whatever it was. But I remember telling Dre Fulgham as we walk in that those cats aren't going to make it back. And I think some other guys had to put some money together to help them out. And I don't know where you were. And the thing is I have like a lot of times we didn't know where Constant was, man. But definitely one of the guys who I thought was illegal when he came out of high school. They showed a picture of him on a magazine. And I said, there's no way that kid's coming out of high school looking like that.
Who, me?
Yes, you, because I thought you were a grown man. I said, they're lying. That kid's birth certificate is lying. He can't be coming out of high school looking the way he does. But Constance always looked like that, always loved the weight room, always looking in the mirror, rubbing his face or showing off some type of there you go. I'm just trying to get like that, man. You got to send me some type of workout program, brother.
For you, I got you. I'm actually releasing a book on my birthday.
I don't want to buy a book.
No. The book has the workouts in it, but I'll give it to you, though.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, it has 3 different workout programs in there for beginners, intermediate, and for those beasts in the gym. So, yeah, I'm going to hook you up. I'll send you one.
But you start bringing up that whole eating thing, man. I need to eat what I want to eat.
Marvin,
Yes.
I hate to upset you like this. You just broke the third wall here because, when this video is going to be aired on YouTube,
Yeah.
It's going to be like in September after your birthday. So the book is already released.
Oh, that's fine. We'll deal with that accordingly. but to you, Zow, to answer your question, I love cheeseburgers. I eat cheeseburgers at least 2 or 3 days a week.
What kind of you got? Plant cheeseburger?
No, man, I eat bubble burgers. I eat real cheeseburgers with real cheese, with bacon, with real mayo. So the thing about it, as long as you plan ahead. So what I do, I don't eat carbs for breakfast or lunch. Usually if I have carbs, it's for dinner because that's when you're more likely to have potatoes and breads and everything else. And as long as you keep those carbs under 75 grams a day, you're pretty much fine. You can eat what you want to eat. But a lot of people make the mistake of blowing their carbs during the day and then you eat more at night. That's what puts you over, and that's when you gain weight.
So I didn't need to eat that donut this morning.
Right. See, when you start off with a donut with 40 to 60 grams of carbs in the morning, you got to pick your battles. It's like, do you want to be on this side or on this side? And depending on what you want to be on, you just got to make the right choices.
I'm trying to get Joseph. I'm trying to get those guns like constant, man. I gotta have those guns, man. Well,
I tell you what, man. All I'm gonna need you to do is just text me your address, and when these books, I'm gonna drop you one. You're gonna get one of the first copies. Done. And it's funny. So my cousin, he actually was on the program. Funny Man, you know Funny Man, right?
Yeah.
So he had his little stomach, his little gut. He lost weight, got his little 6-pack, and he started feeling himself. Now he wants to walk around shirtless all the time. So
that's what I wanted. I told a player that the other day, man. I'm trying to walk around with my shirt off. Niblet. I'm trying to pull my shirt off like Niblet did a few years ago.
So look, we were interviewing Terry Jones a few days ago. TJ said, man, if I ever get in shape like you, my wife is going to be mad because I ain't never wearing a shirt.
I'm trying to get there, man. But I hurt my back the other day, man. So I'm chilling.
Well, see, that's the thing about these workouts. There's nothing in there that's going to hurt you because, again, after you beat your body up for so many years, at what point are you going to need to lift a truck on a daily basis that you need to be lifting heavy with? I don't lift anything. All the exercises are functional exercises, good reps. It just gives you a nice tone. That's it, man.
Joe, this cat is pumping his book in.
Hey, Andrew, I already saw the cover of the book.
He got his shirt off.
Yeah, yes, and you cannot let your wife look at it.
Well, okay. So if you're 40 and you have a 6-pack, you have the right to not wear a shirt.
That's right. Yeah.
Because I'm not around. Whoa! Not around my wife. No, you put your shirt on.
Yeah. I might have you put your shirt on. But you know what? If I can get to that point, I don't mind. Like if he walks up, shirt off, and I can walk around my shirt off, I'll step up with anybody. Well, I gotta get there.
Not, man. I talk about it in the book. It's like two little minor things that if you do, you can lean out as much as you want, man. And again, I told Funny Man the same thing. He didn't believe me at first, and then once he got his little 6-pack, which he's never had in his life, then he's like, oh, okay, now I understand. Yeah, literally, it doesn't take a lot of sacrifices. You don't have to give up everything you love to be successful. It's all about what you do and when you do it. That's the key to it.
That's what's up, man. But you're in the gym every day probably too, though.
Nope. I work out every other day for an hour and a half. That's it. I told you, I don't do anything that's going to have me hurt and beat up and why I can't move. Because I beat the body up enough playing football, so I needed to work out to where I could walk around on a daily basis and my clothes fit me right. That's all I needed. So
I'm going to start wearing my medium so mine will fit me right.
This is a large, man. What you want me to do?
Show me the tag. I'm just joking.
Large. But I know you're a busy man, Coach, and you got to get back to work. So I just want to thank you for taking time out. And I wish you good luck. And I know you got a game coming up. Who you playing, Leeds this week?
Yeah, got Leeds this week, man. Hopefully we can go and give a good game and put the ball in the end zone a few times. Okay, Coach. I'm keep checking on you now. Yeah, check on me, man. Hey, come and help me coach sometimes too, man. When you come off that high hill, man, and hang out with the peasants every now and then. See, there you go with that. I know better than that. All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate it.
thank you again for coming and spending this time with us.
No problem, man. Anytime. Let me know.
All right, see you.
All right.
Here at Careless Treasure Shop, you can get. Oh!
You can get your own championship ring.
Never tried to roll ya.
It's a big bracelet.
Sun do more to warm ya.
You can even order your own championship belt.
Come on, loser.
K-Zed never tried to roll ya.
Shop at Kaylin's Treasure Shop, where you get the best deals on anything.
Hey, you gotta tell
And don't forget to order your championship belts.